Hi, and welcome to Deep Talk. My name is Maria Rivas, and today I will be interviewing Nick Orozco. He is a fourth-year medical student at UCSF and UC Berkeley. And today, for this session, we will be talking about his story. Nick, welcome to our session today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So to begin, we are going to be talking about his background, his pathway to medical school, and why he chose medical school, and then also about his passion, and both personally and professionally. So the first question is, tell us a little bit about yourself, Nick.
I was born and raised in Southern California, Los Angeles County. I grew up between East Los Angeles and the San Gabriel Valley areas. I attended high school in La Puente, California, at a high school called Nogales High School. And then went to UCLA for my undergraduate, and then eventually went on to medical school with the UC Berkeley and UCSF joint medical program. I have three siblings, two younger sisters and an older brother. I was the first in my family to attend and graduate from a four-year university, and also the first in my family to attend medical school. And I also identify as a gay Latino.
All right. And Nick, can you expand a little bit more about your pathway first to college and then your pathway on to medical school?
Yeah, sure. So I think getting to medical school for me was a pretty circuitous route. I went to high school, to a public high school, and actually, because of a lot of the outreach done by a college counselor in my high school, ended up going to college. I think I actually had in mind, before even thinking about college, had in mind to go to the military. My brother went to the Marines, and I knew people that were going into the military and thought that that might be a good plan for me financially and just structure and give me some secure type of future. But we had a college counselor that came on during my junior year, I believe, or sophomore year in high school. And she was really adamant about getting students into college, especially for my high school, where a lot of students didn't go to college or went to community college and just never continued on. So I really have her to thank for, she went into each of our classrooms with the college application, helped us fill it out, and even mailed them out for us. And through her counseling, I was able to, apply to UCLA and ended up getting accepted to UCLA. I went into UCLA as a pre-med, really interested in medicine at that point. I saw kind of the results of a lack of access to healthcare, and a lot of health disparities in my own family and community, that made me want to make a difference and a change and an impact in my community through medicine. And so I went into UCLA as a pre-med. When I got there, it was pretty challenging, I would say. The classes were huge. I felt a little bit behind in a lot of regards, especially with like the basic science courses. I remember talking to students and they mentioned, oh yeah, I had taken this AP chemistry class and this is all review for me, or I'd taken this, AP physics class and this is a review for me. So I felt that I had to do a lot of catching up, and so it was a really challenging time for me while I was at UCLA as an undergrad and a pre-med. But eventually, I connected with groups that were interested in medicine, and in communities like the community where I came from. There's a group called the Chicanos for Community Medicine. There was another group that offered tutoring to first-generation college students, and so through identifying mentors, I was able to graduate from UCLA. But right after graduating, I needed to work, and also had gotten involved in research, and so I did some basic science research for a few years after I graduated from UCLA. Working with mice and cells, but realized that that was definitely not the path that I had wanted to take for my career and for the rest of my future. And so, it's just that basic science research was really disconnected from the type of work that I wanted to do in my own community, and disconnected from my original goal and going into UCLA as a pre-med. And so I felt that I needed to improve my academics and also needed more preparation. So I ended up doing a post-bac program at UCSF, which helped to give me a lot of guidance surrounding the medical school application process, helped me to improve my academic profile, and gave a lot of support surrounding the application to medical school and the interviewing process and all of that, and eventually ended up in the joint medical program with Berkeley and UCSF.
Cool. It sounds like a very interesting pathway. Now, Nick, what would you please highlight some of the things that you think made you really stand out as a medical school applicant? I know that you touched upon some of them as you were, during your years at UCLA, but if you could highlight just some of the things that you think made you a really competitive applicant.
Yeah, I think the things that make you competitive as an applicant, and I think probably the things that stood out in my application, were the things that I was passionate about and had a really personal connection with. I think when I was putting my application to medical school together, those things became clearer to me and more salient. I did, as an undergraduate, I did research, worked with a research group that was working on nicotine and methamphetamine addiction with kind of underserved communities. And, growing up in my own community and even family members, I saw the struggle with addiction. And that connection that interest was there for me because I saw how addiction and how, substances and substance dependence can really impact the lives of people, especially of people who come from minority communities and low socioeconomic status communities. And so I pursued that interest through research while I was at UCLA. I also worked on community-based projects screening middle school kids for asthma in a middle school in the San Fernando Valley, which is like near a bunch of auto mechanic shops and kind of an urban area. And so, I had family members, and I myself struggled with asthma growing up. And so there were personal connections to the things that I ended up pursuing. And I think those pursuits and those interests were really, in putting together my medical school application, really, there was a strong connection as to why I pursued those things. And so I feel like if you pursue something that you're passionate about and you highlight how it reflects your interests and your passions in the medical school application, that can really make for a strong overall application in medical school. I think the other thing is seeking out help when you need it. When I was at UCLA, I struggled academically and was able to seek out organizations that could help me improve my academics. Like the post-bac program was a highlight for my medical school application. The tutoring that I got was also a highlight. Those things, I think, show to an academic program that you're resourceful and can seek out ways to help better yourself and help you succeed. So I think being able to highlight those things was also important.
And Nick, what do you, two questions for you. First is, what do you see as your purpose in life? And then the other one, kind of going on a tangent off of that question, where do you see yourself in the next 5 or 10 years? And what would be some of the steps that you would take to actually get there?
Yeah, I think for me, kind of the purpose in my life, and we had this workshop with the PRIME program, which is the Program in Medical Education for the Urban Underserved, which I'm a part of at UCSF. We had to write down kind of a mission statement, and I'll go ahead and read that to you. So my mission statement is to become a physician who stands for social justice, equality, and community. I'll work to build a platform for those without a voice, who are vulnerable and oppressed, to be heard. I'll advocate for change and break down doors for those who are underserved and disenfranchised to be at the table of decisions. And I'll play my part in working collaboratively with other forces who seek to create change, to move vulnerable and underserved communities towards health. And I feel like that really embodies kind of my motivations for pursuing medicine, and also the kind of work that I want to be doing in the future. In 5 to 10 years, you know, I'll be finishing up residency, and I'm still deciding what I want to do. So I'm kind of torn between family medicine, emergency medicine, and also psychiatry. And I have to make a decision in the next 3 months. But and regardless of which field I choose, I definitely know that I'm going to be working with underserved communities.
Anything else that you would like to add to our session here today for our members to listen to?
I think some of the takeaways that I've learned from my pursuit of medicine is that it's really important to find mentors who can cheer you on and who will help you get to where you need to go. I wish that that was something that I had learned earlier on, but eventually I found those people who kind of helped bring the best out of me. And if, you know, there were areas where I needed to improve, they were able to tell me that and give me direction. That's so important, is that you have mentors who will be there for you and will cheer you on and help you get to where you want to go.
And I completely agree with you, Nick. You know, everything that you said, I totally agree with it 100%. So with that said, anything else that you wanted to add, Nick, or?
No, I think, yeah, I think it's a long road, but you'll get there.
Yes. So be persistent. Don't give up.
Yeah.
So with that said, we are going to sign off for today. And we thank our guest, Nick Orozco, for taking time out of his busy medical student life schedule to be here with us. And also to you, our members, for listening to this Soul Talk here at Deep Talk. And also, members, don't forget to visit our website and also to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. So until next time, thank you.